Hello, Jigsaws. You may notice that there is a hole in my bookshelves that's over here, and you know why is that happening? Because I have to take the books out of this bookcase and move them around. I'm having work done in my place, and of course, when you have to do a job like that, and you want to have the time pass more pleasantly, you have YouTube playing. So on my Watch Later playlist, there was a video by Brett Proctor, and it was about all the Stephen King books he has yet to read. And as I was, looking at the bookshelves, and I was about to start, and this video pops in, I'm like, no, I don't want to move my books. I want to make the exact same video because I have quite a few Stephen King books I do own and I have not read yet. And unlike Brad, I'm not a super huge Stephen King reader. That means that it's not 25 books of Stephen King I have read. I've read like Carrie, Salem's Lot, It, The Body, Dead Zone, Cujo, Pet Cemetery, Skeleton Crew, The Green Mile, Cell. So about only 10 books of his or something. Maybe a couple more, I don't recall right now. And honestly, I'm not sure which of his books I do or do not own. I mean, I was certain I did own The Shining and The Black House, but I don't. So let's get to the books, because you're here for the books, not for me. So let's start with a bit of a rare one. The Bachman books. It's got all four. This very battered omnibus has all four of the Richard Bachman books. I've only read Raids out of the four, and believe me, I understand why Stephen King does not want to publish this book anymore. That is what makes this book rare. Raids isn't here, and if I was Stephen King, I would definitely didn't want this book published because it sucked. Honestly, it was a very cringy book. It was in the beginning of his career. It was very early, and you can see that yes, he will go places along the way, but this book was it was an edgelord type of Catcher in the Rye. It was kind of embarrassing. I want to read the other three books. It's got The Long Walk, Road Work, and The Running Man in here. So definitely worth a read. The next Stephen King book I'm going to read, of course, is this one, The Talisman by Stephen King and Peter Straub. It's the first in a duology or a trilogy that has been completed yet. I'm not sure exactly, but I definitely want to read this book during the summer. So I'm taking this on vacay with me and reading it. So there will be a review at some point. If you think that's a bad idea, write a comment below. Then my most recent acquirement, the book I got most recently, The Eyes of the Dragon. It's a fantasy novel by Stephen King. I was curious and I found it on sale by somebody local who was on Home Books, so I got it. And then some lighter reads like The Stand, and I think I've got this book for like I don't know, a lot of years ago. I think I've got this book for 14 years now, maybe 16 years now. It's definitely one of my older books in my Goodreads shelf. I've got to read this at some point, but this book is thick, and the reason I'm not reading Stephen King books is their thickness, and this is extra thick, so it's an extra reason not to read this book. Yeah, seriously, I do like Stephen King when I read Stephen King, but a lot of the time I'm not in the mood of reading his books. That's why I've got so many of them. His short stories, they're kind of interesting. They're short and they're intense, and I've got Everything's Eventual, which is his short story collection from 2002. Let me check which books I've read. Carrie, Salem's Lot, Dead Zone, Cujo. That's 4. Pet Cemetery, It, 6. Skeleton Crew, it's 7. And Cell, that's 8. Red Riding, 9. And The Body, that's 10. So yeah, everything's eventual. His 2002 short story collection. It's got stories like Autopsy Room 4, 1408, Riding the Bullet. Yes, it's got some well-known stories. I've also got For Past Midnight. That's 4 novellas. I think it's got let me check which stories in this one. The Langoliers, which is a movie I have watched and it was fun. Secret Window, Secret Garden, I haven't watched a Johnny Depp movie. The Library Policeman, I don't think there's a movie about this one, that's weird. And The Sundog, which I'm not sure what this is about. But it's a chunky book, it's almost 1,000 pages long, it's a Stephen King book, of course. It's, yes, he wrote 4 short stories and he puts them in a chunky book. That's Stephen King for you. Then you've seen this book in a book haul before, A Rose Murder, which is about an abused woman escaping her husband. Not sure exactly when I'm reading this one. The Dark Half, which, yes, it's about his Richard Bachman coming out. Pretty iconic book, I guess, and yeah, I think it's probably one of the next things I'm going to read. This is a translated edition of Needful Things. I've heard great things about this book and about how it ties a lot of the earlier Stephen King books together. And it's Castle Rock, of course. It's, you know, his towns in New England, like the way Lovecraft had his own small towns, which is interesting. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if and when I'm reading this one, but I got it for €5. It was a bargain because this book nowadays gets some crazy prices. And I've also got another story collection, Night Shift, his first one. It was published back in 1978 or something. But yes, there is like Graveyard Shift, Jerusalem's Lot, which I think is a prequel to Salem's Lot. The Leads, yes, I've seen this one. The Lawnmower Man, Quitters Inc. I think I've seen Quitters Inc. In a TV show adaptation, like in Twilight Zone or something. Children of the Corn is here, of course. So yeah, definitely an interesting book. And last but not least, Stephen King goes to the movies. I got this book super cheap. There was a bookstore going out of business, so they were selling out all of their books. And it's got some of the stories that have become movies, like The Mangler, Hearts in Atlantis, The Low Men, Yellow Coats, part of it, The Shawshank Redemption, which was an excellent movie, Children of the Corn, of course, and an essay by Stephen King about his favorite adaptations. I don't believe The Shining will be one of them. So yeah, that's my all Stephen King books I do own and I have yet to read. And I'd love some suggestions on which book I should read out of them. No, I'm not starting Dark Tower yet. I know you've already commented. Dark Tower, not yet. Not today, Satan. I'm not getting into it, alright? I've got a lot of fantasy series to read, a lot of Stephen King books to read. I don't need 8 more. So I'm not reading Stephen King, and now that I've done this video, I think it's high time I get back to work and empty those bookshelves because, as you can see, they're packed. So yeah, see you.